So just how far down do you want to go? We could talk it out over some comic books, and you can look deep into my eyes like I was a superhero.
Is it a country song?
No.
No. It's like a 90s alt hit.
It sounds like a country song.
You're on drugs.
The Refreshments.
The Refreshments.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Sounds so indignant. The refresh.
Not a country band. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the First Issue Club podcast, the weekly reading comic book podcast that helps aid you through the muddy and murky water of the comic book landscape. Today, we're going to be doing something a little differently. As you may or may not know, new comic books are no longer coming out till further notice, so we're going to be covering some TKO books that came out a little while ago, and then we're going to get into some humors, some laugh tracks at the very end. We're going to be talking weapons. That's going to be a good old time. We're going to have a good chuckle about that. So, books up front, laughs in the back, as it should be. It's what we call a podcast mullet. With you, as always, is me, Greg, Caitlin, Budget King, and Michael D.
Did you forget my name for a
No,
second?
I almost thought I said it before mine. So I was like, am I going to say Mike D's name twice?
You guys ding me on doing the me thing. Me. Budget King. But you did it.
Ding me. Ding me all you want.
I have never criticized you for saying me before. That's on you,
got-
man. That's all
I
in
got
your
dinged
head.
because I almost forgot Mike D's name. I'm staring right at him. How's everybody doing?
I'm doing good, actually. Getting into this groove.
Yeah. I think I'm doing I'm getting too used to home drinking.
Oh,
That's
no.
That's my one concern now, that it's like it's 5:00. Let's have a beer and kick back, and that's getting a little too common and casual for me.
Well, I guess
think.
that's better than getting used to work drinking.
Well, that meeting was long. Let's have a beer.
It's noon.
Break up the monotony.
I've worn the same pants for 2 weeks.
Are you changing your underwear?
And I changed my underwear. They have a giant hole in the crotch, too.
What's
That's fine.
breathable?
Like, massive.
Massive hole.
Do you still okay, so what was your thing with underwear? Do you still wear 2 pairs?
Yes.
Come on.
You really do?
You paused. Is that real?
Well,
Even in quarantine?
so I'm wearing a lot of my like gym biker shorts in quarantine, like my
Yeah.
exercise ones. So they give me the support I need, and I don't have to wear 2. But if I wear cotton briefs out and about, I wear a second pair of underwear underneath them for more support.
That just baffles the mind.
Yeah. You must have a tiny dick to have room for that much cotton.
I don't have a massive dick. If I had a massive dick, it would be a problem, I think.
Yeah. Normal size penis, you can fit 2 pairs of underwear.
Yeah.
All right.
Also, like when they call my dick snail dick.
Who?
So
Who
they're
and
like-
why?
It's like curled up.
Yeah. So like it goes in and it like gets comfortable, and it stays comfortable all day. Nothing's getting me erect all day.
What a
But when I
life.
get home,
Nothing.
not one fucking thing. When I get home and I'm just fucking raring to go, I bust through those underpants.
I take one underpants off and it's just erection city.
Snail dick is
Yeah.
good to go.
He's coming out the shell.
You're the
Terrible.
opposite of most people, where you're like most turned on like in your home that you're used to.
Mhm. I see a chair and like fucking painting I put on the wall. Whew,
Uh-huh.
baby.
Ooh, the monotony of things that I've come accustomed to. Hi.
Normalcy.
Didn't we say something about getting silly at the end of the
Yeah.
episode?
That's right. So let's
I think
save
this
this.
is gonna be one
No,
of
those. Take very
we
long.
can't abandon it now. We have to stick to structure. So let's save the silly till last and let's get into these TKO books. By getting the podcast started. he slammed it. He slammed that bush.
I did. I finished.
You are ready to go. Number 2 on deck. We are twofering it. Okay, first up in the TKO celebration is Sentient, or if you're Budget King, Sentient. Tomato. There was been a
British way.
heated discussion before the episode of how we pronounce this. Either way, correct. Caitlin, do you have a synopsis?
I do. Do you want to talk about like what they're doing with these firsts?
Oh, that's right. I totally
Yeah.
should, because it's kind of the reason why we chose this. So TKO right now is doing this thing where if you purchase through them, 50% of the sale actually goes to local comic book shops. I'm not sure how they're deciding who gets what, or if there's like a fund they're contributing to, but it's a pretty awesome thing to help the culture.
I know.
Yeah, I do
Oh,
too.
well, tell us.
2 mics want to fill you in.
Because we've done purchases. Is that why we know?
No, I just know. Oh, you've actually bought
Huh?
something from
Yeah.
TKO. All right, you take it then.
You click on as checkout. You click the comic book store that you wanted to go to.
Oh, that's cool. How many do they have?
They had a time period where all of them could get submitted. Is my understanding.
I think it's still going.
So you can still submit and get in. Okay.
Yeah, when you go to their website right now, you get a pop-up ad that says like, "Hey, this is what we're doing right now." You'll get it figured out during checkout.
Cool. I like
Yeah.
it. I like it a lot.
It's awesome. And the other thing that they do, maybe you're going to get to this, Greg, their model is that all of their first issues are free on their website, which I guess we talked about already. But you can join us and read these books for fucking free.
Ain't it grand?
At least the
I
first
was
issue.
going to get to that, but I'm happy that you got to it, because what a way to introduce people to your comic books. Give away the first taste for free. Drug dealers do it, so should comic book publishers. They get you hooked.
First
Yeah.
bumps on me.
Can I say though, when I heard about TKO and I was like, they do that, I was kind of like, they're probably shit books is why they're doing it.
Oh,
But then I was like, oh my god.
Well, yeah,
like these books are
that's what
good.
makes it such a pleasant surprise. You're like, oh, okay. Well, they didn't really need to do this, but they're doing it because they care.
They don't have like too many, so I think they like have heavily curated it, and the art all looks great. They're doing it right. I hope they like come out swinging.
I've read 4 TKO books thus far, and they've all been banger.
Yeah.
And when you get them, they're like huge. They're like a large format too.
Like bigger than a
Look at this fat
magazine.
boy.
Oh, we should say this.
Yeah.
They sent us a bunch of comic books
Oh,
too.
yeah.
So shout out to TKO in general.
Just the name of the game is accessible with them, and I think that's huge. I think that's the way to do it.
I love that. That's such smart marketing. Just like give your product away for free, grow brand loyalty, believe in your product so much that it's good, and then like you'll get people that buy it.
That's the name of the game, brother.
Okay, do we want
Total
to talk?
knockout.
Okay, no one
Sentient?
talk.
All right, so Sentient, we can get into it. It is 2105, and Earth has about 10 years left in its lifespan, so things are starting off great, not bleak at all. Naturally, humans still can't get it together, and extremists are threatening the existence of the continued government and society as usual. This is focused mainly on a transporter ship, and they're talking about like the new Earth colony and how the shit's going on there too. On one particular ship, this ship, however, an insidious mutiny is about to be the start of an unusual childhood for several of New Earth's children. This book is like a sci-fi thriller with the potential to become a Nick Jr. show.
I love when you do that. That is true. That is exactly what this is. It's one story, and then it sets it up for like, hey, these kids are gonna be mommied by a robot that murders people.
But it had to. Had no choice.
This is basically like if Smart
Yeah.
House was in space. The Disney show. Disney movie, excuse me.
Yes. I'm not familiar with Smart House, but I think like, okay.
That's okay. If I'm editing this,
doesn't-
I'll scrub it.
Well, just in reading this first issue, it doesn't take over so much as it doesn't want to take over, and it is forced into it. and then it can't get back its protocols where it didn't have to take over because all of the adults are dead. And like the oldest child, who's like what, maybe 11, 12,
Yeah.
is like now the reigning crew member that can give this thing commands.
I don't know if we said this, but Jeff Lemire wrote this book. Did we
I
say
think
that
so.
at the front? Okay. And
Gabriel Walta did the illustrations, which he did the Vision series
yeah.
that we all love.
So this is like just two amazing people on this book. But the story of this book, it unfolds in like personality, but then you're also getting a little bit of like what's gonna happen. It's like ominous or whatever. But it just like flips on a dime to like, hey, that was prologue, right? Essentially, like this story is gonna be about this sentient robot that takes care of these kids. And my only criticism about this book is it's too short because I immediately got done the first issue, I guess. I just was like, what? I have to know what is going on now.
Yeah, that's how I felt. I don't think we have the hard copy, so or like the longer form. These books are all one of 6, right? Or are there any that aren't 6? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's 6.
Here's how good they are. I immediately ordered both of these books when I got done with this. I was like, yep, I could do that. Yeah, and like it's weird because like Jeff Lemire did Descender and the other book that comes after Descender, so he's in the realm
Ascender.
of like Ascender, and then isn't the sequel Descender?
Mhm.
Yeah, Ascender is the prequel. Yeah, okay, good call. Anyway, so it's like him playing with like robot being parent or being like this was already something this could fit in that realm kind of, right? It felt like a little
Yeah,
bit.
for sure. Well, and to pull the curtain back a little bit, I've read the whole series already, and if you think it's crazy now, it just goes into realms that you can't even imagine right now. So I'm really excited for you to read the rest of this series.
Well, yeah, there's a huge
Oh, cool.
eerie component in that not only are these kids alone on a ship, but they're alone for at least a calendar year in the galaxy. They're in the black zone and their ship has just entered it. So that means
Oh,
they don't have
yeah.
any communications
Right.
with anybody on any Earth, any colony, nothing.
Right. So without that robot, those kids would be fucking dead.
Oh, yeah.
The other thing that I love is the robot can't kill anybody because it has protocol, and they have to shut it off to be able to save these kids. And like one of the last things in the book that you get is that the robot is like, please turn my protocol back on, like essentially being like, please don't let me kill people or be able to kill people anymore.
Do not cry. Do not cry. Do not cry. Like a robot freaking out.
Yeah. It was wild to see that, just to think about an AI that's uber intelligent, that's always had boundaries, and then when it doesn't, it's just like, who am I? What do I do?
I can't trust myself.
Like, yeah, it's like a kid without rules. It's like, I need structure in my life.
I love that it's not a robot, it's the spaceship. So it's the AI from the spaceship. I think that's like super progressive
Right. Yeah.
in some ways, because it would have been easy to just write this as like a virtual mommy or something like that. And it's like, nope, it's just the spaceship.
Yeah. So it's basically just like
Yeah,
HAL
it's-
9000.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
nice this time. The people are the bad guys in this
The
one.
people are always the bad guys.
Did you think the mom wasn't gonna die?
I didn't think a lot of people were gonna die.
Yeah. It was
More people died than I thought.
the pacing at that point was so smart and so engaging because it didn't really give you a whole lot of room to play with, to wonder about who's going to live and who's going to die, because you have to catch up to like, oh, this has gotten so bad so fast, and you're just worried about the woman who's trying to kill everybody. But I thought maybe the mom would survive.
I loved the amount of time they took introducing a couple of the characters so we could spend some time with them. And that obviously made the deaths that much more impactful and surprising. And part of me was just like, holy shit, this was the first issue. Like, it was insane. If you flip through the entire book and get to like, the first 24 pages, you're just like, God, it starts like this? Like, that's
Where do you go
nuts.
from here?
Well,
They've
and
done everything.
Right.
and it's a
exactly.
really smart way to do. It was a really smart way to do that too, because you have to assume that two of the main kids are going to be the ones that we got to spend time with because we were paying attention to their mom and like the parent-child relationship. But I feel like they're going to be two of the main characters, and just a really smart way to intro them without leading into what you were going to do at all.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if the son of the woman who was part of the terrorist group is like, does he share that mentality? Has he not been a part of that world and doesn't know any better? Does that make him enemies with all the other kids? That dynamic is super interesting.
Or is he
moving
gonna hate
forward.
the sentient being for killing his mom?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Does he hate the robot and
Yeah.
scheme against it?
Yeah.
Is he like enemy
Even if
of
he
the
didn't
robot?
know what she stood
That's some.
for, is he going to get into it now because he just wants to avenge her?
Yep. I always think too during these things that there's been a handful of comics that I've read where the group that you think is the terrorist organization, like after a few issues, you're just like, are they the
Yeah.
good guys?
A good. I
You know, like there's always that philosophy on it where you never know, like you're just like, oh shit, I'm actually like with the extremists now that I know what I know.
I feel like a good comic book has to deal with forgiveness in some way,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like a redemption. And it's like a good author will eventually tackle that to not just be one dimensional. You know what's weird about this comic book in some ways? Had it been published on Dark Horse, I feel like everybody would be talking about it,
Agree.
or Image or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like it's one of his finest work, I honestly think, and he's written a lot of great stuff. But the fact that it's on not a like a retail gangbuster publisher, I think it didn't have as much fanfare.
I think there's something to be said about like the typical comic book fan base is someone who's interested in collecting and buying floppy copies of comics. And obviously, more, I think comics make more money in trades. Like the majority of people who are crushing like larger popular stories are reading trades, right? But if they don't have the smaller comic book community to like fuel the hype to get the word and buzz going about the trade and create that sort of like secondary market for the books because of that buzz, then it's tougher to get the buzz for just like a book you can pick up at any time going.
And I think that's the strategy with TKO is they're like, we're just gonna do really fucking good stories, and we're not gonna play
Yeah.
the game of like the hype train.
Right.
I think that gives it a little more like of you know, it's like a rare gem that you find. Like, yeah, it's not on like a publisher you can go out and like pick up at your comic book shop, but real comic book fans know about TKO and know that like every one of their books is a banger. Like they haven't put out a bad book yet. And so like to go out and find these and have them in your collection, like it lets you kind of like have this thing that not a lot of people have. And like so when people come over to look through your collection, you're just like, oh yeah, like TKO, like you may not know about them, but you probably should because this book will change your goddamn life.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Like, I think it then becomes like part of the community's job to spread the word. Like, word of mouth only works if people are willing to do it, and not make it such like, don't make it like a rarity that you're going to hoard, but like tell a bunch of people because that will only benefit and allow them to tell more stories like that.
And that's like I was talking to Sean about this before we did the interview, and he was like, so many of my friends are just like, hey, I want to go buy your book, like can I get it off Amazon? And he's like, no, you have to like physically go into a comic book store and buy it,
Yeah.
and it is the weirdest fucking thing ever.
Yeah.
You're not gonna have a good time.
You're gonna No, yeah, you're gonna be treated like an asshole. You're gonna be told not to
Are you a
touch
woman?
anything.
Do you have any guy friends who can go get this for you?
We don't want you here. Get out.
So I love that. I
Well-
love that TKO is just like, we make good books, we make them user friendly, easy to recommend.
While we're talking about the publisher too, I wanted to mention something I thought was kind of cool about what they do is that they do print individual comics too, but they'll send you them in a case, so you can still like binge them like the trade, but it's more of like a collectible item. Like it comes in this cool
your
little
box set.
case, and you get all these covers that you don't get otherwise. It's kind of like when you know, love a band and their new album comes out. Like you can either get a CD or get it on Spotify and just listen to it that way, or you can buy, you know, the album just because you want to have like something to hold that's like more of a piece that shows like I'm a fan of this. And that's kind of how they treat the comic book versions of them.
I also like that they're like not pretentious about like Rolling Stone articles about being like, we're gonna do it all. We've got this brand new model that's gonna like break the system. It just is like their model is just like we're good people who do like good things and like we're gonna
Yeah.
keep on doing a good product.
We publish 4 stories at a time. They've had like wave 1 and wave 2, and so they've got 8 books, and they make sure those are good, and they'll do more when they've got another good 4 stories.
Well, and I was gonna say there's no print runs. They print them like as needed, so that it's never gonna be like unavailable to anyone that wants to read the stories or own them. Which
And their digital prices are really fair
yeah,
too.
it's crazy. Like you don't really hear about that between DC and Marvel. Like DC and Marvel get like, you know, hard-ons for their print runs, and they love saying, "Oh, it's gone to second, third print." Like TKO is just like, "No, man, like fuck print runs. It's always going to be there, like no matter when you want to read it." End.
Solid
And
point.
did you guys see Todd McFarlane's thing like interview on like what's gonna happen in the comic book industry?
Oh no.
Oh,
And he was just like, you know what? We fucking did this to ourselves. Like we
wow.
should have never let I should have never signed an exclusive deal with Image to go straight to distribution through Diamond. Like Diamond should have never had a monopoly. Like this coming to a crashing down is a needed change for the comic book industry.
That's pretty much what we said a month ago.
I know. I was like, damn.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I bring it up to say, I feel like TKO had these same discussions and they're like, we can at least fix some of the shit that's wrong with the comic book industry.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember the name of the publisher that um, the old editor from Marvel started. That's got a bunch of new stories on it. AWA.
AWA.
Yeah.
I mean, their whole mission statement was like, the industry's broken and we're going to breathe new life into it or something like that. And I
Whereas
think
like I
there's
don't
that sentiment is getting pretty popular
I don't want to not
in and
I,
around
I think
comics.
AWA did a cool thing and they released a bunch of the worst time ever. They literally did 2 weeks before COVID, so I feel bad for
Yeah.
their like second runs. But I feel like TKO took an even like kind of more crazy revolutionary stance than they
Right.
did.
Yeah. AWA so far, if I look at their model, it's not different from anything else going on.
It just
Yeah.
can operate a little bit more independently.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah, ready when you are.
And that was Sentient by Jeff Lemire and who?
Gabriel Walta.
By Jeff Lemire and Gabriel Walta. Thanks, guys, for that quick and short synopsis of Sentient. What makes that joke funny is when I edit this, it's going to sound short and sweet, but we spent about 45 minutes on nonsense.
You're welcome.
Hey, it's our key to success.
Mhm.
And up now we have Sara from Garth Ennis and Steve
Epting.
Steve
Epting.
Epting.
I'll shorten that
Steve
up and make it great.
Sports. Okay.
It's butts.
So for Sara, this first issue is called Words to Live By, and it opens on Sara herself posted up in a tree, waiting for a moment to shoot this Nazi bigwig for the motherland. This first issue also introduces her band of sisters on the Russian front and some of the dynamics of just being women in battle in their downtime versus when they're like ready for action. It also hints at some darkness in Sara's past that makes her a bit different than the rest.
Tell me about that part. I missed that part.
What part?
What is the darkness in her
Well, they keep
past?
saying like you would know about this more than anybody else, or you of all people should
Oh,
know
yeah,
this,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it like kind of hints at like she's gone through some shit that not everybody has.
Do we think that she's Jewish?
Oh, that might explain a lot.
Like her people were persecuted, and this is more of a personal thing for her than most. Maybe, perhaps. I don't know. I haven't read the other
Yeah.
books, so
Could be.
who knows?
When I saw the cover of this book and I knew it was Garth Ennis, I was like, oh, it's gonna be one of those war books. Pass. Like I'm just not the audience for that. Like this is not really like me, and it's historic and stuff like that. But like this angle of like women being like this all like badass squad, and like the pacing of it and how she waits in the tree the entire time and like sets up her shot, and it also doesn't really surprise you, like she does get the kill and it's like super bloody. I just was like, oh man, this is a beautiful comic book. Like it's wonderful, and it even feels like the art is so good it makes you feel cold,
Yeah.
like appropriately and
Quiet
stuff. And
and
then
yeah.
there's this, yeah, I could gush about this comic book forever. There's this one thing which is like a really cool writing tactic. They have a house that has a tank rammed into it, and they just like mention like offhandedly like we can't remove the tank because the house might fall
Yeah,
down.
the house will fall down if we move it.
Yeah, it never it never gets mentioned again. It just is like it's full of like those little elements.
But they're
It was a solid
Yeah.
read.
and also little tiny ways to stay true to what it would have been like to experience that as a woman. Like that they gave the women the house with the tank in it because apparently it would help their privacy because no other
Yeah.
soldiers would want to go in there.
Nobody wants to go into a house with a tank in it.
So that's where you guys live and sleep. Cool, right?
You live in tank house. Yeah, that was weird.
I thought her inner monologue in the tree is like brilliant. It it was a really nice way of saying that like she's seen some shit, but and is super experienced and super talented, but at the same time she's obviously very young. So it it makes you even more intrigued about her back history and where she's been in such a short lifetime.
It's also cool to just see like women be badasses in like a collective way. If it were just like, oh, and there's one woman badass and she's like gonna like change it, or whatever, and it was like, nope, these are all badasses and they're pretty much on equal footing, if not the superior ones of this group with the men.
Did you guys know that this is actually based off of true events?
No.
I had no
I was
fucking clue. I
actually
didn't
wondering
know.
that the whole time.
There was actually like this elite Russian Soviet women's sniper group that recorded this insane amount of kills, and like I'm pretty sure all of them survived the war. Like they were just like the elite of
Wow.
Holy
snipers,
shit.
and it's exclusively all women.
Well, and that one woman too, like the Vera woman, she was like pretty brutal. Like she wanted to be the one to call in to get to go torture the prisoners that come back and like
I loved
Yeah.
that.
I'm reading here. It says over 2,000 women were trained as sharpshooters and deployed all around the battlegrounds.
that's incredible.
Wow.
That's awesome. That makes this so much
Yeah.
cooler.
Why does that stuff get buried? I will never know.
It's because it's about women,
Also,
and
like-
history wants to forget women as quickly as possible.
You can't do things.
So at one point in time, though, I mean, Russia is with Germany, and then it flips, and then I think the reason that Germany loses the war essentially was because like Germany drives too far into Russia, like goes
Yeah,
too crazy
in the
or
winter.
whatever.
Yeah, they couldn't survive.
Yeah,
And the Russians
Yeah.
were just like, oh, it's a mild winter, and every Nazi is frozen to the ground.
right. And and that's essentially like what they're playing up here. It's like we lived
Yeah.
here. They made some badass characters. Did you guys think she was gonna get captured or something like that, or like?
No,
I did not think she was gonna be a straight up badass. I didn't see that.
I
Coming.
thought she wasn't going to shoot. You know what I mean? Like she kept saying wait, and
Or
I
that
thought it was
she
just
was
like
gonna
she's just
miss.
gonna like survey the crowd and then come back with like more information. But then when like the Nazi head honcho showed up, I was just like, oh, she's gonna kill this fucking guy in front of all his subordinates, and it's going to be rad as fuck.
I thought she would kill him and then like maybe they'd capture him or something like that, and she just kills him, goes away. Like there's not tension, which I'm totally fine with. Like after she kills him, there's tension up until she
Yeah.
kills him.
Well, I think it's just like, it shows how controlled and in control she is, even leading up to the kill. She's like telling herself to breathe and stay calm. And she even raises the gun a little bit because she knows she's so far away and the wind is like doing this thing. She's like, okay, now I'm going to blast this dude's head off. And then you don't even see the dude's head explode, but you see his brains all over.
Yo, that panel of like his brain just exploding was so good.
Yeah.
I was so into
Yeah.
that.
This book was just awesome. Front to back, it had so many personalities in it. And you guys were talking earlier about how it's those little nuances that Garth Ennis did of his writing. There's that one line where she's in the tree and she was like, well, the sun's going down. It's almost 20 below. I should probably get out of here. And I was like, 20 below? I would be dead at like 5 below. Like I'm not built for Russian weather at all.
Yeah, there's several like punchy lines in here that I was just like, oh, that's gonna sit with me for a couple hours. I think one of you alluded to one that I loved that um at one point they mentioned that like um oh, this isn't the sort of place for a woman. And she's just like, I don't know why they say that. Like, I live here.
I live here.
Like,
Yeah.
this is my life.
Yeah.
This is nothing to
He
me.
wrote some badass. I mean,
And like
Like,
the
what else? Like, what else would I
the
do?
commander is constantly cursing as if to show them that they don't belong because it's vulgar and doesn't fit them. And
right.
Yeah.
and then in contrast with, I loved the political officer, the woman that is constantly she's like camp mom, and she's like
Yeah.
constantly telling them like, you guys can always talk to me, but don't say rude things at the dinner table, and like, listen to what your commander says. Wouldn't it be great if you could bring honor to your fellow sisters by killing this guy? And they're like constantly rolling their eyes at her, just like, we know she means well, but God, get out of here. Like,
Elbows off the table, girls.
right.
Let's go shoot some Nazis.
Yeah. Just great dynamics there.
She's like the really pushy RN in your dorm that is just like, hey guys, let's keep the party down. It's like, fuck off, Rebecca. Like we're getting fucking drunk. I'm 19.
I also like they could have like named this like furious women or like badass, or just something that like instead of just like naming it the name of one of the women, like the characters, I felt like was a really strong way to do it, because it's like it's about one of them in the story. It was good, and I didn't want to read it.
Are you for real?
I like Garth Ennis, but I just like it seemed like
You saw a period piece, war flick, and Garth Ennis usually writes some pretty dark shit. And you're like, not today.
I wasn't in the mood.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wasn't like, if it just a war piece is gonna have to be like really fucking good to get me. Like it just, like this is it, and I'm not knocking them. Like there are good stuff out there. They're just not my cup of tea. Always, and like God, this was good. It was great. It was wonderful.
And you said you ordered it, the whole thing, as soon as you got done reading it?
Yeah. I did that, and then like pound for pound or something like that.
That's a fucking good one.
Yeah, those are
Yeah.
the 3 I did.
Read that
I
one.
didn't do. I'm kicking myself now that Mike mentioned it. I saw the option to get the 6 comics, and I was like, oh, let's do the trade. But
You would have gone for the 6
The
issues?
6. It's $10 more.
is it okay? That's why I didn't do it then.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
I was gonna say like TKO's one thing is like they're not valuable.
Well, yeah. Okay, so it's not
in-
that they're not valuable. It's just like there's not a spec market,
Yeah.
which is brilliant. Which
Yeah.
is like why another reason we really like them is because like speckers can't fucking make extra money off of them.
You're right. I shouldn't have said valuable, but like yeah, lots of books and number ones have these like weird spec value and variant covers and things like that. And TKO doesn't have any of that. So I was like, I don't need the individual issues. Like that just makes it harder to read.
I don't even think TKO has variant covers.
They don't have the same cover
didn't
for
see
every
the option.
issue, though.
They don't. I mean, every issue has its own cover, but
Yeah.
there's not like
So
a
that
1
would
in
be what you're-
25 ratio. TKO is just like, fuck that. Like, here's your books, read them. That's what you're here for.
We need you to care about the story.
Yeah.
For them to like also just be so confident in a world of like other independent publishers, to just like be like, no, we know our books are good. Like,
Yeah.
there's something there that's working. The magic is
It's a-
good. I believe
It's a
in
big
it.
flex, and it's been working out for them.
Their design is good too. Like I sometimes comic book like designers that do the stuff that aren't the artwork is fucking shitty, and like
Yeah.
their logos and shit. And it's like I like everything about their like website too, and all their extra design.
Are they out of St. Louis?
No idea.
Oh, I don't know.
I would love to look that up because if they're in St. Louis, I would definitely want to go there and record an episode with TKO people.
Los Angeles.
LA? I saw it was a little bit off.
St. Louis, LA is in the West.
Totally fine. We'll go visit.
Yeah, we will. I was just gonna make another joke, and I was like, whatever. I'm joked out. I joked myself out.
You better not be.
Yeah, we got to get to the jokes now.
Oh yeah, yeah, you're right.
We just got through the appetizer
books-
and entree, and now we gotta get to the dessert, baby.
How do we transition to this section?
No
Are we just
idea.
like, now we're gonna play some
Yeah,
games?
why not?
Yeah, it's like
Yep,
this.
or
Like, hey,
like-
now that all that stuff's out of the way, we need some laughs in
Out
our
of the way.
life. It's out of the way. We
It's
had
not
some
what's
structure.
bringing
We
us
had the
here
structure. We
anymore.
had people come here for the show. We talked comic books. Now we need to let loose. This is the happy hour of the show. The work's over. We're meeting some work friends at our local Chili's. We ordered a pitcher of Margs, and now we're gonna get a little bit goofy. Now a few of us are gonna break off and make out in the bathroom and not talk about it. This is what's about to happen. So, what? Someone pitch
probably
it. What are
should
we
try-
doing? We're talking.
Yeah,
I'll
pitch
it
do
for
it.
us.
This week we're doing weapons, weapons galore in every comic book fashion. We're taking this time to be fun and explore some aspects of comic books that we want to talk about. So today we're talking about weapons. You're probably thinking to yourself, "What the fuck? I don't even get it." You're gonna get it. You're about you're about to get it. It's about to be real.
Sounds like
real
a threat.
fucking
You're about to
simple.
get it.
You're about to get it. Calm down. You'll be fine.
Let's start off. We're gonna do some would you rather's, but like, you guys got a favorite weapon in general that you just like to see being used?
Yeah, Forge.
A Forge?
Forge, the X-Men. He's just like a giant weapon himself. He's like a master
yeah.
of machines, and like half his body is machines, and he can make it into anything he
Like
wants.
Cyborg.
Yeah, kind of. Fuck. Oh yeah, exactly. Like Cyborg. God damn it.
Me, I'm a trapdoor guy.
Oh, okay. So is that a weapon?
Just weapons in general.
Yeah, just weapons.
I was gonna
in
say I don't
general.
have one in comics, but I mean we talked about this before. But the point of view gun is something that I would definitely. That's my favorite weapon ever
Oh, yeah.
made. Not made, but you know.
I think my favorite weapon in general ever used is the syringe from Dexter. So trapdoors and syringes. I'm a big fan
Trapdoor.
of weapons.
How is that a weapon?
You get hurt when you
Of-
fall down.
Villains that use like trapdoors, like it's like, oh, I'm standing on these leaves. No, I'm not. I'm in a cage.
Oh,
That's
like when like you
common.
sit at their desk and they say, "Please take a seat," and then like the seat falls out and you go into their dungeon.
Yeah, yeah, that's a weapon.
I like maces. They wield lightsabers so well that you can basically just consider them walking weapons.
Is that a Mace Windu joke?
Yes. You thought I was talking about swinging mace.
I thought you were talking
I
about
was
pepper
talking about-
spray.
I was talking about guys named Mace.
All right, we're gonna go around the horn and do some would you rather's for weapons.
Sure.
All right, I got one. Would you rather have to wear Casey Jones's hockey mask for the rest of your life, or carry around Scrooge McDuck's cane?
Neither of those things are a weapon, especially not a hockey
The cane
mask.
is a weapon. I've seen enough DuckTales to know
I
that the
guess the
cane is a
cane-
weapon.
Okay, I'll give you the cane. It can be used as a weapon. It's not implicitly a weapon.
The hockey mask is to protect him from punches.
So that
So-
is a defense.
Protection is a weapon.
A condom.
Is Captain America's shield a weapon?
That's what I'm saying. If he throws it at people, it is.
It has to inflict pain.
Yeah,
yeah,
like
but its purpose is to protect.
That's the
It's to deflect
Okay.
something, right?
What do you guys think about Scrooge McDuck's cane?
I think it's
well,
dope.
he does wield it in DuckTales quite a bit. It does pack a punch.
Yeah, that one was for you. I was like, that motherfucker. He twirls that cane. I know you guys are big DuckTales
So
fans,
much.
but he uses that cane with authority. All right, that wasn't a would you rather. That was just a flex on Scrooge McDuck's cane. So we're 0 for 1.
This episode brought to you by
start.
Scrooge McDuck.
Okay.
What do you guys
Yeah,
got?
I got one. Would you rather have Alana's Heartbreaker from Saga or Wonder Woman's Lasso of Truth?
Alana's Heartbreaker is pretty lame. Like it doesn't actually. It's like a stun gun, but doesn't kill you.
It inflicts emotional pain.
People are not that threatened by it.
They are after she uses it.
Or
Yeah, emotional pain is maybe the worst kind of pain.
I would agree.
It's hard to repair a
I'm
broken
good-
heart, brother.
Yeah. Would you rather have a paper cut or a broken heart, my dude?
okay.
Feels like you've had 1,000 paper cuts.
Or have to tell the truth about everything.
Yeah, I think the lasso of truth is more entertaining, even if like not used as
For
a weapon.
100%.
I don't know if I'd be able to get it around people, period. Like to start with.
Like it would have to have
Maybe if
an
I snuck up behind them and was like
an
playing
ability
You have to, like-
improvement when you use it.
You could just hold it. You could just hold it as leverage
Yeah.
over all your friends. You could just be like, "We'll say it in the rope."
Yeah, that's true.
You really mean it? Say it in the fucking
Yeah,
rope.
if you really
Step
mean it,
into the
say it in the
rope.
fucking rope, dude.
Oh, you're not gonna say it in
Motherfucker.
the rope?
You
Get the
you
fuck
brave
outta here.
enough?
So if we're talking most badass weapon, I think Heartbreaker wins. If we're talking about weapon I'd most like to have, Lasso. of
Always
Truth.
lasso of truth.
Yeah.
For someone who always thinks he's being lied to, a lasso of truth would be very helpful.
We could find out once and for all if we're all on the Truman Show.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point.
Oh, true. Who would we lasso for that?
Ooh, yeah,
anyone.
anyone.
Yeah, anyone that's not us.
Yeah,
Shoot.
that's true.
Yeah.
Because you would be the one
Yeah.
person who didn't know.
Does the lasso of truth work on Wonder Woman? Like, can
Yeah.
she take that to like her therapy sessions and be like, "All right, Diana,
Look
let's
yourself in the
really
mirror.
get to the."
Do you really love
Is
Clark?
that what you're getting lied to the most by your therapist?
Huh?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
It's like mirror, mirror on the
Also,
wall to her. She
Yeah.
can like say
So
her
many
inner
people
truth.
lie to their therapists.
Totally. Oh, I would bring mine to work and just be like, "Am I an asshole? Shoot me straight, everybody.
I don't think you need a lasso of truth for
Everybody
that.
get in this rope right here."
I promise I'm not going to be mad.
Tie the lasso around your wrist and then say that.
Yeah. I will get mad. I'll be very mad.
I will hold resentment
You got-
for weeks.
You guys bow staff guys? Bow staff
I
people?
wasn't until I like somehow stumbled across a YouTube video of like professional people who were like using bow staffs in like competitions, like karate competitions, and that shit was crazy. They were just like going to
But they-
town with that thing.
They twirl it like they twirl like a sign twirler. But did they ever inflict like damage with it?
That's the thing with modern weapons that are not guns.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Like, are they just like more like extracurricular activities at this
Yeah.
point?
Yeah.
Like,
seriously.
when are you gonna realistically like be like, oh, my bow, I have it at the perfect fucking time to like actually like hurt a guy who like deserves hurting?
I'm so glad I have my Morning Star with me.
My maul,
Came in
my
really
cat o'
handy.
nine tails is really gonna get this motherfucker.
Mhm.
Good thing we're crucifying Jesus today.
That's the thing. Like, what are you most likely to witness crime-wise? Like, someone like stealing a purse or something? And even then, do they deserve a fucking Morning Star in their back or head?
I actually want to see someone rob a bank with
No.
a Morning Star now.
I'm really good at these. Just FYI.
Just stand back a foot or two.
I know. I see you smirking, but
Just please fill the bag.
with me, they're deadly. They're not deadly with everyone. With me, they are.
I just came here for the dog treats, and then I'll be out of here.
You guys ever thought about how lame Ghostbusters weapons
Shut
are?
the fuck up! No, they're awesome, and they're also meant
Whatever
for
you're
ghosts.
about to say,
Yeah,
whatever you're about to say, put it into a would you rather.
Okay, would you? I could do that.
All right.
Would you rather have nunchucks or a photon pack?
Come on.
yeah, for
Photon
sure.
pack.
But the thing about it is they just like stun ghosts.
No, exactly. To get them into the trap, to put them into the bigger holding chamber.
But
So you're saying if we have the photon pack by itself without the trap, they're useless?
you need what's the name of the trap? The trap has a name. It's a trap anyway. Okay.
The ghost
but,
trap.
like,
it doesn't matter.
Okay, but like
Yeah, and you called it a photon pack, not a proton pack. If we're getting real
did
specific about
I
names.
say photon instead of proton?
Yeah, you did.
Okay, sorry, proton
You can
pack.
leave your nerd card at the door.
Anyway, they're why wouldn't they want to just kill the ghost? Why they gotta save them? They're dead.
They're not saving
Like,
Well,
them.
that's
they're-
like you can't kill them.
Yeah,
They
you
are
can't
dead.
kill a ghost.
No, they put them into the. Okay, that's what it is.
Yeah.
They're like
Yeah.
Yeah.
they're stunning them. It's the only way to actually. Okay, it's still not that useful in a fight. Can you blast a human with it?
They don't need to. They
Oh,
don't
yeah.
fight
And you
humans.
can't. It's dangerous to them to even cross the stream. So
They're
you know it's got to.
Ghostbusters, not
You know
police.
it's got to do some damage.
Yeah.
All right.
If you're firing a heavy beam of protons, it's gonna fuck some shit
Maybe
up.
this is just shining a light on how much a nunchuck sucks, though.
Yeah, I wouldn't feel very confident. I would feel like I would hurt myself more with those than I would do any damage to anyone else.
Nunchucks are more like
How many-
yo-yos.
Oh, go on.
Like once you get them like really
Speak on that.
really going, it's just about not hitting yourself in the face with it.
I think that's like anything. Spoons, nunchucks,
That's anything.
like a
Whoa there, guy! Don't get
like,
too
like
excited.
masturbating, like a string on a stick. Like it's just all comes back to not hitting yourself in the face.
Yeah, they should have given Michelangelo a bunch of spoons. Oh, he's spoon guy. He's clapping again.
Oh man.
I like your guys' would you rather's better.
Do you have one? I got a couple more.
No, let's go. Let's keep going. I like yours.
Would you rather have Nico's staff of one or Big Barda's mega rod?
Mega rod, because I don't know enough words to make the staff of one useful.
Yeah, that's like it's such a cool weapon, but the conundrum of like only being able to do things
Yeah.
one time is
I don't know
so
any other words
tough.
for pizza, but pizza. And that's what I would only use it
Cheesy
for.
bread.
Pizza. And then I can't use it anymore. It's useless.
Can you say it in different languages? Could you just like you get like 100 of everything?
So in the show now too, and I don't know if this followed the run of comics, but her mom could use it for more than just one word. And she was like, I can say more than one word. And she was like, yeah, well, we all were beginners at some point. So I don't know if it ever evolves, but for
Oh.
her in that run, at least as far as I had gotten into it, she never figured out how to do that.
Yeah, same.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Would
Okay.
you rather?
Would you rather have
No, you
I
go.
like that.
I've been going.
Would you rather have angel wings or a mech suit?
Mech suit.
But where do you store it? Because you can hide your angel wings.
How?
How do you hide angel wings in like the world's biggest suit?
You're just
You'd have to wear like the talking head
You're always
suit
wearing a talking head suit.
and like tuck it
It's like
into
two
your
kids
pants.
stacked on top of each other to get into an R-rated movie. Like you instantly know someone's trying to hide wings under a jacket.
Okay. So if you
I
have
think I'd rather have wings, I guess. Again, are they a weapon? I don't know.
You back into
Stab-
somebody and you flare 'em really fast.
Yeah.
Every
You fly in the air and drop
Yeah.
them.
every
I couldn't do that without
That's
wings.
So,
Wings.
there we go.
So, is gravity the ultimate weapon?
Angels are killers.
maybe I'm more into tools.
You can't change
Are you
topic
guys more hammer or
3/4
screwdriver
of the
people?
way.
You just wanted to play Would You Rather, and you put weird parameters on it that you're not
I have a
following.
loose understanding.
Would you rather eat a pie or a cake?
Those aren't weapons.
In the hands of a clown, they
or
are.
tools.
That's true. Those are more weapons than
An angel wing.
angel wings, I
You ever
think.
been hit with a banana cream pie?
I think yeah.
Okay, who has the better branded weapons, Batman or Green Lantern?
Yeah,
Batman has
for
better
sure.
branding.
Literally everything starts with
Everything's got
Yeah.
Bata something in it.
And
Yeah.
they're
But
shaped.
the Green Lantern, I mean, it's like his jewelry. It has the icon of the whole group that he's with.
Everybody else could be branded
It's-
by icon though, or like symbol. He doesn't.
Yeah.
Branding on their weapon though, like better weapon branding, I guess.
So
You still think Batman?
Plus, he's only got one ring. You know what I mean?
Okay, but all
Batman's got like a whole suite of things that are like the Batmobile,
Batarangs,
the
yeah.
Batarang.
the
I
bat
love that-
cappuccino
yeah, it's like-
machine,
yeah, even his bullets are shaped like bats. It's like he just goes.
which
all
is
in.
why he never hits anybody because the bullets don't go in a goddamn straight line.
Never quite figured that out.
Yeah, Alfred. We need to
Friggin'
workshop the
Alfred
bat
every time he
bullets.
misses.
Stupid Alfred.
All right, if you had to
Stupid
change
Alfred.
if you had to change Penguin's umbrella repertoire into a different tool that was also deadly, what would you make him carry out?
This is my favorite Would You Rather so far. If you could change Penguin's umbrella into a different repertoire, is
would
that how
you?
you put it? Would you? Yeah.
Like what?
You know what? It was so tough to land on, but like, yeah,
Yeah,
I think I
totally
would.
would.
Think about it. Like, what if he had deadly ladders that he was carrying around everywhere, or
Just a golf bag full of
So
ladders.
your would you rather's have turned into think about it.
just think about it.
What if it was like
Just
an
sit
egg
there
that
and you
hit
think
guys?
about it.
Oh my God.
He had a bunch of grocery bags.
What if he had
everywhere that
weaponized
like,
pink eye? I mean, come on.
That was a superpower.
And gave him pink eye.
Oh my
Penguin biting off a guy's nose in Batman Returns, I think, still freaks me out. Like I like close my eyes whenever that scene comes up because I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, so
In
gory. It
general,
like
freaks me out.
shocked
Danny
me as a
DeVito,
child.
perfect casting choice for that.
Yeah, he was great.
Okay, I got another one. Ready?
Hell yeah.
Batman's shark repellent or Gold Balls, Gold Balls?
Gold Balls is like one of the dumbest characters
For
ever.
sure.
Oh, he's awesome.
Shocker. That revelation shocked me to my core. That budget.
But I'm a fan of gold
I also
balls.
guess I just don't really remember that Batman had like shark repellent that was just like his own thing. No one else
Yeah,
has
I
this.
didn't. Yeah, I forgot
That's-
about that.
It was a gun.
That's the one thing that always bothers me about Batman is like, oh, just any specific scenario, I can get out of it by reaching into my belt, and I've got like every specific tiny little thing I need.
You know what that shows me? Planning. He has his own R&D department, and he's ready for anything.
Thought about
And
everything.
I applaud him.
As a
Is repellent a weapon?
I thought you were gonna say like as a wizard.
As a
mean, would
wizard.
you-
Now, as a wizard,
as a wizard, I think,
could have
I think
conjured
conjuring
spell.
gold balls
Goddamn.
is the least of my worries. Therefore, I've selected shark repellent.
What kind of enchantment charm did he use for the repellent, I wonder? As a wizard. Speaking as a wizard. It almost sounds like Santa Claus.
I thought you were gonna say as a woman, so I was equally
As a woman wizard.
I could hurl gold balls at sharks and other things, so I'm gonna go gold balls.
I was leaning that way too. And you have an infinite amount. Your repellent's gonna
Yeah.
run out at some point.
I have a question about shark
Right.
repellent. Does it only work on sharks?
No,
Okay.
think
What
about
else
like
is it?
Boom.
think about like bear mace being used on like people.
How funny would it be though if bear mace only worked on bears? And like you sprayed at a human, it's like, what the fuck is this? Like this is doing nothing to me. I don't have bear DNA, you
guys
fuck.
know- You guys know there's like a company in Kansas City that sells necklaces that have shark repellent in them.
Which is needed here in
And
the
they, like,
Midwest.
They
Totally.
play on this. I guess there's like people who don't live by the ocean are more unnecessarily afraid of sharks.
Yes.
And that's like where all their
God.
customers are. And people that do live by sharks aren't like, oh, I want the shark repellent necklace.
That's so funny.
So-
Which is kind of how, well, it makes sense because I'm not afraid of Slugger. But people that don't live in Kansas City are horrified of Slugger, the Kansas City Royals mascot, whose skull is a crown.
It's fused together.
Yeah.
Also,
It is
didn't
kinda
he
scary
like
looking.
kill a woman with a hot dog?
He killed a
gun?
woman with a hot dog.
She didn't
know.
die.
Blinded. She was blinded by meat. Listen, if you get a hot dog shot at you at 100 psi, you're going to be horrified. You're going to be scarred for life, literally.
Blinded by the meat.
Yeah, she's going to get like PTSD every time she sees a hot dog commercial.
So many hot dog commercials on TV right now.
You're watching the wrong
Yeah.
channels.
Johnsonville, bro.
Oh, God.
God, there used to be a lot of commercials for hot dogs, but I guess someone decided that these things sell
Hey,
themselves.
guess what? You know what else happened around the same time that hot dog commercials dipped off? Slugger shot someone with a hot dog.
Maybe it's only in Kansas City. And that's why we think there
Yeah.
are none anymore.
Yeah, people in Boston are like, man, these hot dog commercials are going off like gangbusters.
I don't live in Kansas City where they kill people.
Yep.
All
there-
right, I got one more.
Okay, would you?
All right.
Green Arrow's boxing glove or Blue Beetle's BB gun?
Boxing glove.
Was that the arrow with the boxing glove on it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really good.
For the comedic value, it's got to be the arrow with the boxing glove on it.
That's got to be so hard to shoot.
Incredibly hard.
It's like 80 pounds.
Yeah. The weight on the line on your bow has to be.
Do you
like,
think he has a
so
lot
intense.
because they keep just snapping?
Fucking hell, I got to restring this thing.
Hang on, just stand right there.
Just shoot an arrow. Like, like why are you just like lightly knocking somebody?
It's more of
out?
an
Because he
insulting
doesn't want to
thing.
murder someone.
He's not Slugger.
He's not bloodthirsty Slugger. Okay.
I think
Yeah, sometimes it's better to knock a guy
if I was hit with a arrow with a boxing glove on it, I'd be more humiliated and not want to commit crime
That's true.
more
That's
than
true.
anything. Like, hey man, what are
More
you in
than
here
if you
for?
were-
I don't want to talk about
More than if you were shot by a BB gun.
it. By a man in a blue beetle suit? I don't know. That's a good question.
Oh, so silly.
His Blue Beetle's little gun is so funny. You can conceal it really easily.
Yeah, you're not concealing a boxing glove arrow.
Yeah, TSA is gonna find that one.
Yeah, it's got.
Mr. Arrow, can we see you over here for a minute?
He's
When they talk about like a surprise attack, you're just like, hang on here, grab my large boxing
It would
glove
almost
and get my bow
make more
situated.
sense to be wearing the boxing glove with just the arrow in it and just to, like pull it off and then
And
string
and the
it.
boxing glove shoots an arrow. doesn't even need the bow anymore.
Blue Beetle's gun is like a flashlight with a trigger. It's so funny looking.
You
Yeah, it
freeze!
doesn't even look like a BB gun. It looks like it's
No.
like a radar or something.
Like he's a cop.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's
Yeah.
a cop. Yeah, he's like a future cop.
Why does he even have it?
It's
'Cause
so
he's
dumb. I
Blue
don't know.
Beetle. He's just there to be Booster Gold's best friend.
Actually, yeah. Does he have superpowers? I always liked him because he struck me as like a Spider-Man type. He was like one of my first DC
Yeah,
guys that I
So
really
no, he
gravitated
doesn't have any
towards.
powers.
Yeah.
He has the power to wield a BB gun.
Yeah. That's cool.
I mean, in the New 52 stuff, he was like, his suit was like from a scarab, like a Blue Beetle scarab, and like that had more of a, I guess the older Blue Beetle was as well, but like this had more of a bigger impact in the New 52 stuff. But
Yeah, the new Blue Beetle suit was insane. I didn't like how small the eye lenses
No.
were. They were just like the size of eyes.
yeah, I also just really
It
like
looked
Ted Cord,
weird.
who was like the original
Yeah,
Blue Beetle.
so did I. Ted's my guy.
Ted and Booster, man, best of buds.
Amazing covers on vintage Blue Beetle books.
Oh yeah. I think I have a couple, and they are choice.
I have a handful too. That's something I always like grab from old boxes when I'm perusing.
That's mainly like what inspired me to like collect the older Daredevil covers, is because like they really just took reference from like old gymnastic poses and stuff, and like every scene is dynamic on those covers and those old Daredevil
Yeah.
things, and they're just so much fun to look at.
Do you have any like yellow old suits?
No, the oldest
You don't go
the
that far
oldest one I
back?
have is number 10.
Wow.
Yeah, which I'm pretty pumped about. I was actually really
Yeah.
shocked I got it.
What's the oldest comic you have, Budget King? Do you know off the top of your head?
Like Avengers 20,
That's pretty
Yeah.
good.
That is.
something like that.
I think I have a like one that, you know, those like shit, what are they called? Like the Golden Key comics that are from like the 40s and 50s. I have
Yeah.
one of those that's like Space Family Robinson, and I think that's like technically the oldest book I have. But
Yeah.
it's by no means the most fun old book that I have.
Right.
Yeah.
What's yours, Mike D?
I have Avengers number 9.
Ooh.
It's pretty beat up, but it's still cool to have something like that fucking old. It's the first appearance of Wonder Man,
Oh,
and
dope.
then he dies the same issue.
Oh no.
R.I.P.
Ooh.
It's really
I
wild.
kind of find myself like buying those older books, even if they're not like from a big 2 publisher, just because like when you think about it, these things are fucking old. They're like old, and
It's
like
amazing to me that these things made it through time, just in general,
Yeah, I
without
know that it's like a paper thing
Yes.
held together by like loose
yeah,
staples.
it's like a
and
time
that someone
capsule.
kept track of it, even like
Yeah.
enough to
Right.
Yeah, So-
before there was money in it or before there was that kind of.
yeah.
Always read that shit. I always pop them open and read them.
You do.
Yeah.
I would.
That's the way to go.
That Avengers 9 has a little ad in it to order a monkey through the mail.
Like a real live monkey.
Yeah, real live monkey.
Comics were wild.
The ad says even eats real people food like lollipops.
Oh no! Don't feed your monkey
Feed your
lollipops.
monkey candy.
Insane.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
And
Oh, I
an
have
ad
I
for
have
the
Uncanny
Everyman?
X-Men 15.
Oh, wow.
Wait, what?
Sorry.
I have Uncanny X-Men 15, which is 1965.
Dang.
Any firsts in there or appearances?
Is it a key? I don't think so. There's a little drawing on it too. I got it for $5. Like there's a little bit of some kid wrote a little bit of pencil on it.
You know what? I found out that doesn't affect the grade.
How?
Oh, what?
I'm not
Are you kidding me?
you. Remarks on the cover don't affect like the physical grade of a book.
How? I
I-
guess I don't get that.
It
Oh, this-
flabbergasted me.
This book is in great shape. Besides the kid that drew little pencil eyes coming out of like somebody's face.
And that
or
little
whatever.
kid was Jack
And I-
Kirby.
And I was like, I don't know. That's an old X-Men book. I'll just buy it or whatever. But I could get it graded, I guess, with like an okay grade on it. But nobody's gonna buy that when it has like drawings on it. Like even if it has a good grade, they can see that it's fucking
Well,
drawn on.
Is the drawing sexy?
It's no.
Well, then burn that book.
Yeah, get rid of it. Why do you have it?
Only
Actually, that's a good
sexy
point.
covers in my collection.
The penciler was Jack Kirby, but the inker was Dick Ayers. Isn't that weird? They had a different penciler and inker.
That's pretty common.
Yeah.
Is that okay? Let's get back on weapons.
Do we need more weapon stuff?
Cool. All right. What else we got?
I think that's it. I think we did an episode.
I think we got enough.
I'm not sure,
I
but I
wrote down
think we
this-
did an episode, guys.
I think we did. I wrote down this as a memory of weapons. It's not a would you rather. You guys remember the video game Booger Man?
No.
No, I don't. Sorry.
All right. Well, he's a Sega character.
All right. Good night,
and
everybody.
His
Here we
his thing
go.
was that
His boogers are weapons.
he flung yeah, he weaponized his boogers.
So this wasn't a would you rather. It's a do you remember?
I put it at the end of this because all my other ones fit in
I like-
perfectly. to
I
would
like that you
rather.
said this isn't a would you rather, but it's a memory of weapons. That's such a
Memories.
creative way to
Yeah.
phrase it.
Here's a memory I have of a weapon. I
I
was
wrote the
dating this
words
knife in
Muppet.
college, and
I wrote the words Muppet Babies thinking like, is there any way to pull a weapon out of Muppet Babies?
yeah, Nanny's thighs. Rrrr.
Ooh, she could kill with those. Slay.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us here again on First Issue Club, the weekly podcast where we talk about comic books and apparently weapons. Join us next week when we talk about comic books again and maybe weapons. Who knows? We got a lot of time to fill and a lot of comics to not read. I'm Greg.
Oh, next week we want to no, never mind. Cut that out. I'm Budget King.
I'm Greg.
I'm Mike D.
Yeah, I'm Caitlin.
And until next week, wash your hands.
Next week we'll be talking about Booger Man 2.
The
And
search
more
for Booger
memories.
Man. Hey, listen, I know I'm married and all, but I still treat my lady like we're dating, and it's as fun as the first time we
Uh-oh.
met.
Sound like PJ.
I try to get her drunk every night, and try to fiddle that faddle, and it's been working for us for about 25 years, and we've had our ups and downs, and we get into our tussles, and marriage is all about compromise and expanding your thoughts on sexual exploration or whatever. But it's fine. It works for us.
I like that, like, get her drunk is your get her done.
Get her
And you
drunk.
fiddle the faddle.
Yeah, I don't like that so much.
Everybody,
faddle.
get her drunk. Coming to the stage, fiddle faddle.
Use fiddle faddle.
Get her drunk. After about
that's a little bit better than that weird old man's voice you've been doing.
after
right
about
now,
3
Coleman.
Mike's Hard Lemonades, my girl's slip and slide is ready to go.
Too much.
Ugh.